everyone. So this is the second lesson in getting you familiar with Google Sites and some of its features. And here we're going to dive into a little bit more high-level stuff, which I think you're going to like. So we have our website that we created from last time, and now what we're going to do is we're going to focus on creating another page. And here I'm actually going to focus a little bit more on developing a page that is based on the NFL. So I have my NBA page, and now I'm going to do an NFL page. So just like before, we can create a text, images, any of those things, but we kind of know a little bit about those things. So I'm going to use maybe an image carousel here. So I'm going to click on image carousel, and now it says, okay, I have to have at least 2 images, and that makes sense because these are things that people could like flip through or rotate through or swipe through if they're on their phone. So I'm going to go to add images, and I'm going to select an image since I don't have one on my computer that I kind of want. I'll go over to Google image search, and now I'm going to search for maybe the Buffalo Bills. Okay, so now I can select as many images as I want from here, and maybe I'll select this one, and I'll select this one, I'll select this one, and this one, and I'll click insert. And you might notice that if you search for Buffalo Bills like actually on Google Images, you might come up with a whole lot of different results. It's because these are what's called like common license, so they're free for people to use, and you're not going to get sued by the Buffalo Bills for this, which is why Google defaults to this. But you get a whole bunch of different options if you looked under like just a general Google Images search, which is kind of cool to know. So if you really like one of those, save it to your computer and then upload it, and you can use it there. But for now, these 4 are fine. So I'm going to click insert, and perfect. Now I have all 4 of these. You notice I can even add text below some of these things just to spice it up a bit. But for now, I think it's going to be fine. So I'll click insert. I have my beautiful carousel coming in, and if you look on the bottom here, I'll just click off of it. I have 4 dots signifying that I have 4 pictures that people could swipe through should they desire it. All right, so now I'm going to say, okay, let's put some text in here. So I'll add a text box, and I'll say, click to find out more about the best team in the NFL. Okay, I don't really like this here, so I'm wondering maybe I can drag that in here. Unfortunately not. So I'm going to just cut that, and I can get rid of this section that I don't like, and I actually should have done it in here. So I'm in this text box. I'll just use my double click, hit my text feature, and now it's going to let me put it in here. So I'll just paste it back in here. Click to find out more about the best team in the NFL. I don't really like how this looks. It should be a whole lot bigger, and maybe like 30. Yeah, that looks good. I can also do things like aligning it, so maybe I'll put it in the center, I'll bold it, and yeah, I think that looks good for now. I can also change the styles of it, so I can make it a title or a subheading, or I can make it super small, but I don't really like any of those things. I kind of liked it at 30, so I'm just going to keep undoing it, and that's how I want it. Perfect. So click to find out more about the best team in the NFL. So if I click, I should be able to get pulled to a page that's going to talk a little bit about the NFL. Problem is, I don't have that yet. So let's click on pages, and we'll add another page. And here, we'll call this page the Buffalo Bills. Excellent. Now, remember, this picture of LeBron James is going to stay. So we can try to change our image. Select an image, and maybe I will do a search for the Buffalo Bills. And let's say I want to put this image in. Okay, perfect. So now I put that in. Doesn't that look cool? Look at that. So we have the option to change that image wherever we want to. And this top 5 NBA players ever should still be LeBron James. It is, because we didn't change it. We just changed it on this one. So this gives me a much cooler look, and I really like that. So now what we're going to do is we're going to write a little bit of information about the Buffalo Bills. So we can go back to insert, and we can use our text box again, and we can say, this is all of the cool information about the Buffalo Bills. And here I would proceed to write a whole bunch of stuff. But maybe I also want to give them like a link to NFL.com, and maybe that'll help them if they want to get more information about all the NFL. They could click on that and it would take them to all the football teams ever. So if I said, I'll make a little bullet point here, right here. I'll say, if you want to find out more information about NFL teams, go to the NFL website to learn more. Cool. All right, we're looking good. Now they should be able to click on this NFL website and it should take them to NFL.com. So just like before, we're going to add a link, but now we don't want to link to anything on our site. We're just going to actually link to NFL.com. I'll hit apply, and that'll still be able to take me to the NFL website. And you notice that it's a hyperlink because it's changed to blue and it's underlined. Okay, good stuff. So I'm going to make all of this a little bit bigger because I don't want to write a whole lot more than that. Maybe a little bit smaller than that. That looks good. Okay, so underneath here you would picture that we're going to write all of our really awesome stuff, but for now we don't have a whole lot to write about, just because I know you all know how good the Buffalo Bills are, so why would you need me to keep telling you that? So what we'll do instead is maybe we'll just put a cool YouTube video in here. So under my insert, I can go down and I'm going to click on YouTube. And now it's going to say, okay, well, what YouTube clip do you want? And here we can just put any Buffalo Bills video will do. So I'm just going to search YouTube for Buffalo Bills. And we can pick any of these ones. Do we have like a Buffalo Bills hype video? Let's go. Okay, so I'm going to put this in. I'm going to put this ready for the playoffs. I'm going to click on that. I'm going to click select. And it's that easy to put it in. My goodness, look how good this is. So nice, sir. I know. Now, I can always drag this around, move it however I want on the page. I want to probably center this. So I'm going to center it. And I know it's centered because I have those two lines on the bottom showing me that on the left and the right side, it's equal distance from the margins. So I'm going to click. Perfect. It's nice and centered. Let's gray out this background. And maybe we'll make that blue up there. And of course I can make this bigger should I so choose. And then again I can just center it again if I wanted to. And we're looking good. So now I have this awesome page. I have my YouTube video in that they can click on and play, and they don't even need to go to YouTube for it. It'll actually just play right in my website. So let's test that out. Oh, but before we test it out, we should probably link to this page. I mean, they can still access it through the top bar here, but it's nice to have a nice link on our page. So let's go back to home. Now instead of creating a link through the text, we're going to create a little button in here. So insert's going to be a really commonly used section for you guys. But if we go to insert, we'll click on button, and what do we want to call this? We want to talk about the Bills, so we'll put Bills Mafia. And what's it going to link to? It's going to ask us what page does it want to link to. We're going to link to Buffalo Bills. Perfect. And now I have this little button over here, but that's not in a really good spot. So I'm going to click and drag that and maybe put it right underneath here. Cool. So this looks good. I like this, but maybe they're not going to know what this little button means. So maybe I'm going to click on it, double click, and I'll say click to see the Bills Mafia. And now you know it's more of a button. Because when you just said Bills Mafia, they might not know to click on it. But now if I say click to see the Bills Mafia, we're in good shape. So now we've linked our page, we're ready to access it, so we can click publish. And you can publish it anytime you want. Now, the first time we published it, we didn't get this page. Why? Because we didn't have what's called a currently published website. This was our currently published website. And look, if I scroll down, it stops at top 5 NBA players ever, because the one that everyone in the world can see right now doesn't have the new stuff that we put in, this stuff about the Buffalo Bills. So I like my new website. I'm ready to publish it. I'm going to click publish, and we're good. So let's take a look at what that looks like. And we can click on this little view button, or if perhaps I missed it, I took too long, I can always go down to this little drop arrow here and see view published site. So let's do that. So now I'm on my sports stars. I have my top 5 NBA players ever, and now I have my beautiful Buffalo Bills thing. And you notice if I'm on this picture, it gives me an option to cycle through all of my cool images and take a look. Wow, sir, that's so cool. Yo, I know. So now, if I want to click to find out more about the best team in the NFL, I can click on my little button here, and it takes me to the Buffalo Bills webpage. Cool. So I have my hype video in here. That's awesome. Ready for the playoffs. We're good to go. And the other thing we put in was this external hyperlink, which means it's not in our webpage. It's somewhere else on the internet. So we're looking good right now. Let's click and make sure this works. So I'm going to click on this. It opens up NFL.com. Look at this go. That looks good. And we have all of our NFL news here because we're talking about the draft. Mike Tomlin pictured. Excellent. We can close that up and go back to our website. And that's good. We have now added a second page. So we'll have one more lesson, which is going to cover the last little bit that you're going to know or need to know in order to make your website the best website it can possibly be. Okay, so now we have created our second web page. It's time to put it all together.